Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Detectives and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Before we get started, I want to thank those who've given to this year's listener support campaign. Among them, Jay, who will send access to the premium site, which I do with all donations of $7 or more. Among those who give $20 or more during our listener support campaign, we will give a free digital copy of All I Needed to Know I Learned from Columbo, plus one other thank you gifts. Among the thank you gifts available, at the $20 level, we have your choice of my ebooks, including What Made the Golden Age Shine, which is my look at what's so special about Golden Age entertainment, as well as some great superhero comedy novels, Tales of the Dim Night, Fly Another Day, or Powerhouse Hard Pressed, all available with a donation of $20. And at the I want to call your attention to the physical books we'll send out to those in the U.S. and Canada. At the $50 level, you can get an autographed copy of one of my books if you're in the U.S. and Canada, or you can get 2 Michael Shane private detective novels, actual original paperback novels in perfectly readable condition. $50, and we'll send you 2 pocket books. And at the $100 level, we have John Abbott's Who is Johnny Dollar series. Really tremendous, great research, great for the Johnny Dollar fan out there. And we will send those along at the $100 level. All right. And also, over at the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio, we've got a couple articles up. A review of Powder River Season 3 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, my review of Prisoner's Base by Rex Stout. All right. Well, now it's time for today's episode of the lineup. And we had a few lost episodes, 5 lost episodes. But we're going to bring you this episode from May the 6th, 1952. Here is Babs the Baggy, Bungling, Brunette Bombshell case. And let's go ahead and take a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we take you now by transcription behind the scenes of a police headquarters in a great American city, where under the cold, glaring lights will pass before us the innocent, the vagrant, the thief, the murderer. This is the lineup.
Nothing at all. For once, my desk is clean.
I bet it won't stay that way. Well, sit with me.
Okay. You know, we ought to go bowling one of these nights.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, if we could get a lead together, it might be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Mr. Fox, this is Lieutenant Guthrie.
Oh, glad to meet you, Lieutenant.
Hello, Mr. Fox.
Hey, this is quite a setup. I never knew what a lineup really was. Will there be many men up there on the stage?
No, about 14.
That many?
Well, this is a slow day, Mr. Fox. The line usually runs 20 or more.
Really? My goodness. Who's that?
That's Sergeant Carger. He runs the line.
Oh, sure is an easy job.
Well, that isn't all he does.
Have your attention.
He does this in addition to his regular
People
duties.
out there on the other side of the wire in the audience room. May I have your attention, please?
I guess it wouldn't make much sense to say a policeman just introduced prisoners.
My name is Carter.
Not with the budget we have, no.
I'll explain the lineup to you. Each of the suspects you'll see will be numbered. I'll call out the number, their name, and charge. If you have any questions or identifications, please remember the number assigned to the prisoner as I call his name. If you're sure or not too sure the suspect, have him held.
Well, I'll certainly be positive the man that held me up. I'll never forget this face as long as I live.
Well, it sure helps, Mr. Clark. Positive identification.
All right, bring on the line. Okay, keep it moving right over here to the end of the stage. Come on, boys, come on. Now turn her face front. Hands at your sides and look straight ahead. Straight out through the screen. That's it. Now when I call out your number, step out. Keep facing front and talk up so everybody can hear you. I want all those people out there to get a good look at you and be able to hear what you say.
From the right is not the right
Stand up and talk up. Okay, number one, James Stanton, robbery. Okay, James, where do you live?
Rooming house.
Where?
114 South 19th Street.
What kind of work you do?
I'm a bricklayer. Work on construction jobs.
Where do you work?
I ain't working. I'm in jail.
Where'd you work before you were picked up?
Tilton Construction Company.
How long did you work for him?
3 days.
Why'd you leave?
Couldn't make any money. They never give us no overtime.
You own a car?
Yeah.
What kind?
36 Chevy.
Hey, you're number two. Where do you think you're going?
You're going? Ain't going nowhere. You kidding?
Get back in line.
I'm just tired of standing still.
Get back in line and stay there.
Okay. I get nervous when I gotta stay in one place.
Now be quiet.
Okay, I'm quiet. He hates me because I move.
All right, knock it off.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, where was it?
Things like Pete has his hands full.
Yeah.
Number one and two were picked up together. They've been given every picture of them.
36 Chevy.
Give me the sport, Alex.
You're driving.
No, not Denny. Blue 51 Oldsmobile.
Where'd you get it?
I didn't get it. Lee had it.
Who's Lee?
Me. I'm Lee.
Never mind. Lee Willard, number two. Okay, Stanton, step back. Number two, Lee Willard, robbery. Step out, Lee. Stand still and keep your head up. Where do you live, Lee?
114 South 19th Street. Same place Jim does.
Where do you work?
Well, I ain't working right now. I'm kind of between jobs.
When you do work, what do you do?
Well, I've been a carpenter.
You own a crowbar?
Oh, sure, all carpenters own crowbars.
How come you had the crowbar with you last night?
Oh, I don't know. I usually have it with me.
Hanging on your belt under your top coat?
Sure, that's a good place to carry.
You know anything about a liquor store that was broken into at Leland and First last night?
Oh, I should say that.
You own a car?
Well, picked up in one.
That isn't what I asked you. Do you own a car?
Yeah, I own one.
What kind?
The 41 Dodge sedan.
Where is it?
Up in Oregon. I let my girlfriend use it.
Where'd you get the 51 Oldsmobile you were picked up in?
Well, that's a long story.
Well, cut it down. I'll be glad to listen.
I lived up in Oregon, you see, Portland.
Ben?
That's where my girlfriend.
And that's you for a minute?
Moved down here,
just came in.
together, and met up here with you.
See you later, Klein.
Well,
Nice to
yeah,
meet you, Mr. Fox.
Sure thing, Lieutenant.
Real nice to me, so I figured it'd be nice if I did something for him. Huh?
What's up, Asher? Safety Drugstore, 23rd and Slauson was held up. No? Just one person did the job, woman. Got excited and shot the cashier. Doc Gerson doesn't think there's much hope for him. They get a good description of her? Well, the clerk thought he recognized her. Now, where's the clerk now? Out at the drugstore.
I was working over in the liquor department, right over there. This girl comes walking by, and, you know, when you think you met somebody before, you kind of smile and speak. Well, she gives me a real cold stare.
Are you positive you've seen her before?
Well, yeah, I'm 95% sure.
Well, where was it you saw her before?
While I was out in Garden Grove. If it's the same dame, and I'm pretty sure it is, she was a stripper in a nightclub.
How long ago was this?
Oh, about a year and a half ago.
What was her name?
I don't know what her real name was. They call her Babs or Brunette Bombshell.
Did anyone see how she got away from here?
Yeah, Ed. He works in the candy department. It's up front right by the door. He said she ran out and jumped in a blue 47 Ford Coupe. He didn't get the license number or anything. Ed gets real excited when something happens.
Well, we'd like
I don't blame him much. I was excited, too.
Yeah. Well, we'd like you to come down to headquarters with us, Mr. Wells. See if you can find a picture in the mug file. She may have a previous record.
Oh, sure. I'd be glad to. I guess the manager will let me off.
I think he will. We'll talk to him. You stick with Wells, Dave. I'll pick Cogger up and take a run out to the Blue Grotto.
Are you the owner here?
Yeah. Number police, Mr. Roselli. I'm Lieutenant Guthrie. This is Sergeant Carter.
What do you want from me? I ain't done nothing.
We want some information on somebody we think used to work for you.
Oh, well, that's different. Come on back to the office. Very glad to help. Well, a nice day, ain't it?
Sure is.
I wish I had time to play golf or something like that. You know, they ought to build a golf course with floodlights so people like me with screwy hours could play the game.
Isn't that a bad idea?
Well, sit down, fellas. How about a drink?
No, thanks. You?
No, thanks.
Okay, fellas, what can I do for you?
About a year and a half ago, you had a stripper working for you. She was called Babs, the Brunette Bombshell, remember?
Can't say that I do. A year and a half ago, huh? No. Well, you know, I hire a lot of them dames. Got 2 working now.
Well, wouldn't your payroll record show it?
Well, sure, fellas. I ain't got nothing to hide. Let's see, a year and a half ago. Now, that would be,
October 1950 through January 51.
Yeah, that's right. I got the records right here. What you do?
No, I'm not sure she'd done anything.
October, November, December, January. Well, you think she's about to do something?
Here, Pete. You take these. Pull anybody with a first name Barbara.
I don't keep any description of the girls. This must be something big, huh, fellas?
Excuse me, boss. I got a call out here for Lieutenant Guthrie.
Oh, thanks, bartender. Guthrie.
This is Kleinman. Got Gerson call. Cashier at the drugstore just died.
Oh. Do you have a family?
Yeah. Wife and 3-year-old kid. Asher went out to see him.
Right. Do anything you can for him. Thanks, Glenn. Yeah, it's something big, Mr. Roselli. The girl we're looking for held up a drugstore and killed the cashier.
Gee, what do you know? Well, it don't surprise me too much. Like I said, they're a funny bunch, these strippers.
Nothing here, Ben. Clean as a whistle.
Okay, Pete. Guess that's all we can do here. Thanks, Mr. Roselli.
Yeah. Oh, say, if you don't mind a suggestion, I just got a great idea. Why don't you check with my booking agent?
Now, where is he?
Over on 14th Street, 743. Jerry Gold, nice guy. He knows every stripper in town.
What can I do for you?
Mr. Gold?
That's right.
Mr. Roselli over at the Blue Grotto sent us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Frank's a good friend of mine. What kind of talent do you need?
Well, we're looking for information right now. I'm Lieutenant Guthrie. This is Sergeant Carter, Police Department.
Well.
We'd like some information on a girl that bills herself as Babs, the Brunette Bombshell.
Wow, sounds like a stripper.
Yeah, that's right. She worked the Blue Grotto about a year and a half ago.
Well, there's a big turnover in that kind of an act. Might have something in the file. Yeah, I'll take a look. See now. Jugglers, embassies, strippers. Here we are. There you are. You're welcome to take a look at them.
Here, Pete. Take care.
Thanks. A year and a half ago, huh? They should be right up in front here. I've only been in business in this town a little over 2 years. Excuse me.
Yeah, sure.
Oh? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm trying. Well, what do you expect me to do? Nobody wants dog acts anymore. What do you want me to do? Feed them? Well, if anything comes up, I'll call you. Yeah, I'll call you up tomorrow. Man's crazy. You got 6 St. Bernards. They do tricks. Thinks it's great. Size of stages there are in nightclubs. You couldn't get 6 St. Bernards on at one time.
Hey, look at this, Ben.
Oh, yeah. Barbara Kane. 364 South Washington.
Let's see. Oh, I remember. Now that's her. I had a booking for her down in San Diego, the Yellow Parrot. She wouldn't go. Never heard from her since.
How do you do? I'm Lieutenant Guthrie. This is Sergeant Carter, Miss Kane.
I'm not Miss Kane. I'm Jerry McMillan.
Oh? Well, do you you know her, Barbara Kane?
Yeah, I know Babs. She used to be my roommate. Why?
We'd like to get in touch with her.
Was she in trouble?
We think so.
I hadn't seen her for 4 or 5 months, not since she got married.
Oh, do you know where she lives?
Yeah, I guess she still lives in the same place. She and Joe had an apartment over on the west side of town. Just a second, I got it in my address book. Yeah, here it is. 1022 West Hamilton, apartment 4.
Well, thanks, Miss McMillan.
Do you know if she's working?
I don't think so. I don't really know, though.
Oh, what's her name now?
Haynes. Mr. Joseph Haynes.
Hello.
Mr. Haynes? Police, Mr. Haynes.
Oh, well, come in.
My name's Guthrie. This is Sergeant Cargan.
Oh, hi. Sit down, gentlemen.
Thanks. Is your wife in, Mr. Haynes?
No, she isn't. Why?
You expect her?
What's going on here? I don't expect it.
Oh, how's that?
Well, I haven't seen Barbara for 3 months. She left me a month after we were married. Just up and left. Packed up, took the car and left.
What kind of a car?
It's a Ford coupe.
Blue?
Yeah. Well, how'd you know? What's the matter? Is Barbara in trouble?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Haynes.
What'd she do?
We think she held up a drugstore, killed the cashier.
What? Oh, she wouldn't do anything like that.
Looks like she did.
Well, she was a little mixed up, but she wouldn't do anything like that.
Do you know where we can get a hold of her?
No, I don't.
Is the car registered in your name?
Yeah.
You know the license number?
Yeah, I got it right here in my key ring. 4Z27Y3.
May we use your phone, please?
Oh, sure.
Pete, got a check on it.
Right.
Oh, but the car is registered to me. It won't have her address on the registration.
Well, that's all right. We'll put out a bulletin on it. Car license renewals were last month. Did you renew the license?
No.
Well, she must have renewed it then. She may have given a change of address.
I just can't believe that Barbara mixed up in something like this. Once in a while she'd do some funny things, but something...
What do you mean funny, Mr. Haynes?
Well, I don't know. One day things would be great, and then maybe the next day she'd be down in the dumps. She never seemed to be any too well. She had a lot of headaches. I don't know. I figured maybe it was me.
Just a second. Ben.
Yeah?
There's a new address on it. 627 East Lucas.
Okay, tell Larson to call Quine and Asher. Have them meet us there in half an hour. Tell Quine to check with records and see if there's a warrant on her.
Right.
When would you get these headaches, Mr. Haynes?
Oh, no particular time. She'd get them, and then she'd take the car and go for a ride. When she came back, she'd be okay.
Barbara Kane.
Did you ever go with her when she did this?
Oh, no. She wouldn't let me.
You never knew where she went, huh?
No.
Well, okay, Mr. Haynes. Thanks a lot.
Well, I sure hope you fellas are wrong. I still don't think Barbara would do anything like you fellas said. I never could understand some of the things she did, but I sure don't think she'd kill anybody.
There it is. Oh, there they are. All right, come on, let's go. Hi.
Hi, Ben.
Is this where she lives? I hope she's still here.
I checked his identification. There's no record or a warrant out on a Barbara Kane or a Barbara Haynes.
I didn't think there would be. You cover the front, Ash gets the rear. Pete and I'll go in. Car isn't around, so keep your eyes open for a blue 1947 Ford coupe. She's a brunette, 5'7". If she should come up, let her go in.
Right.
Now, let's see. Yeah, Barbara Haynes, apartment 8.
Manager's in 1. Name's Reed.
Now, let's check the girl first. Okay, let's see what the manager knows.
Not exactly the upper crust.
I'll say not.
what do you want?
Mrs. Reed?
Yeah, what do you want?
We're police officers.
I didn't call you.
We'd like some information on Barbara Haynes, apartment 8.
What's the matter? Did you do something?
You know where she is?
No.
Did you see her go out today?
I never pay attention to what goes on around here. I'm just the manager. I ain't no cop.
Well, we checked and she isn't in her room. We'd like your pass key, please.
What for? You guys ain't supposed to go in her room. What do you want from her? What did she do?
We think she held up a drugstore.
No feeling. You sure it's her?
We think so.
How about that? A criminal living here. She get away with much?
Not much. But she shot and killed the cashier.
Oh, my goodness. Wait till my husband hears this. He never did like her.
Could we have your pass key, Mrs. Reed, please?
Well, I guess in a case like that, it'd be all right. Wait a second.
Think she's moved out?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, think there'll be any shooting?
Not unless she starts it.
What are you going to do?
Wait in her apartment and hope she comes back.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd stay inside the apartment, Mrs. Reed, just in case there is trouble.
Don't you worry, I will.
All right, let's go, Pete.
Oh, my goodness, wait till my husband hears this.
Okay, lock it. Or she'll have to use her key. Okay, you take the bathroom. I'll start in here.
Right.
Oh, what do you know?
Oh, nothing in the bathroom, Ben.
Hey, look here.
Hypodermic.
Uh-huh. And there's stuff to go with it. Well, nothing to do but wait.
Think she could have been tipped off?
She'll be back.
Boy, she sure could use a cigarette.
Bit quine and ash, I think we've forgotten. Now, here we go. Behind the door. Get the door.
What's going on here?
Barbara Haynes?
Yeah, what do you want? Who are you?
Police, Mrs. Haynes.
Police? Well, what do you want from me?
Where were you this morning?
Why? What right have you got?
We have the right. Where were you this morning?
I don't get it.
Where were you this morning?
I went for a ride.
Was anybody with you?
No, nobody was with
What
me.
kind of a car did you go for a ride in?
My car. What is this, a joke?
No, this isn't a joke, Mrs. Haynes. When you went for a ride, were you in the neighborhood of 23rd and Slauson?
No, I went to the beach.
Which beach?
Cypress Cove.
What kind of a car do you drive?
A Ford.
What year?
1947.
What model?
Coupe.
Color?
Blue. What's all this about,
Did you
anyway?
meet anybody at the beach?
No, I don't have to put up with this. What?
From here, you drove straight to Cypress Cove.
Yes.
Did you go out to Slauson?
Yes, if you think I'm going to put up with your
You
ass...
said a little while ago that you weren't in the neighborhood of 23rd and Slauson.
I just drove to the beach and went out slossing.
Did you stop anywhere on the way?
No!
You didn't stop in a drugstore?
No, I told you I didn't stop anywhere.
You said you weren't in the neighborhood of 23rd and Slauson, too. Your car was seen leaving a safety drugstore at 23rd and Slauson.
Well, somebody made a mistake. I'm not in any trouble. I haven't done anything.
Okay, have it your way. Let's go down to the station.
Let's go.
Suspicion of robbery and murder.
You must be off your rocker. You mean I'm under arrest?
That's right. You're under arrest. Do you ever work at the Blue Grotto, Mrs. Haynes?
No. That's the Blue Grotto.
Were you ever in the entertainment business?
I was a dancer for a while. This is crazy. What are you guys after?
Why don't you tell us what you really did today, Mrs. Haynes?
Leave me alone. I don't feel well. I've got a headache.
You have a lot of headaches?
I didn't do anything. Why don't you let me go home?
Well, if you have a lot of headaches, maybe you ought to go see a doctor.
Tell me the doctor.
Well, then.
Sue Wells, is this the woman you saw in the store this morning?
Yeah. Yeah, that's her.
All right. You want to tell us about it now, Mrs. Haynes?
All right. And I did it. I had to have money. It takes a lot of money.
Get a stenographer, Quine.
Welcome back. Well, I think sometimes those writers wrote the title just to challenge people to tongue twisters. I would love to hear a recording of anyone saying any of these 3 times fast, particularly this week's show. I know that we don't have credits on this particular episode, but the voice of Wells sounded an awful lot like Bob Bailey to me. That could just be me, but that's how it sounds. And this one really just a pure manhunt case. The episodes that we are missing, I should note from the last week's show, according to Digital Deli, all of April, Castro Cop's Killing Carnage case, the Cornered Cop Killer case, Nancy's Nauseating Naivety case, the Corny Complainant case, and the Big Boy's Brutish Backbending case. And we have one more episode, I think, and then we should be into a stretch where we only have one lost episode all the way into December, though it does look like there may have been a couple preemptions along the way. We should have a situation where we run through about December 19th with all of the cases, and then a couple scattered episodes heading into 1953 to wrap things up. Okay, well, on we go to listener comments and feedback. Robin writes, "Hi, Adam. Thanks for all you do. I've been listening to your podcast for a while now and felt it was time to contribute. Let me know what I have to do to pick out my gifts. Thank you. Take care, Robin." Well, I do want to be clear. There are 2 ways you can do it. Some people, if you give through PayPal, you can fill out a comment. There's an option to put a comment and just put in what you want if it's something simple like Perry Mason or Father Brown, and I'll just assume to send you the first Perry Mason or Father Brown. If you forget, or if you have a more complex way of putting your request, then you just go to support.greatdetectives.net, find the one you want, and then once you've donated, you just email me and say, I'd like such and such an extra. And I'll go ahead and make it happen. So just email me, box13@greatdetectives.net, after you give the donation. Now, I mentioned yesterday, I'd talk about what some listeners have had to say about some of the new shows. Some rejoicing about Pat Novak for Hire. Joshua says, "I think Pat Novak is still my favorite. The lines in that show are so funny and odd." Debbie says, "Love Pat Novak. Best lines ever. Good job, Adam." David says, "The Saint, awesome." So he's excited about The Saint. Patrick says, "Love them all. Haven't heard of Easy Money, but I'm sure it's promising." Patrick, Easy Money, I'll just go ahead and say it's kind of a bunco fraud series where a private detective basically is dedicated to exposing and breaking up various frauds and rackets, and how he infiltrates and deals with them. It's just a fascinating study, and I think very educational. It did over radio a very good job of explaining how a lot of frauds work, and so I think people are going to really enjoy that series. There were a couple listeners who talked about great voices of radio. Kind of egged on by mentioning that we're going to be doing The Adventures of Farrell Marlowe. Sam says, "While I love Bill Gargan and Barry Craig, and Sidney Greenstreet is fantastic as Nero Wolfe, Bob Bailey is the best at Johnny Dollar, and Jack Webb is immortal in Dragnet. Gerald Moore has perhaps the best voice in Detectives, and is clearly my favorite. I've listened to every episode in the Philip Marlowe series at least 3 times. Can you think of a more distinctive detective actor?" And John Boehner has my favorite dramatic voice in all of old-time radio. Who's your favorite dramatic voice? We all know that Mel Blanc has the best voice in stage, screen, radio, or television ever, in my humble opinion. Sue says William Conrad also had a great voice. Another favorite of mine is Larry Haynes, who later starred in Search for Tomorrow, a TV soap. So those comments from Sam and Sue, I have to admit, the voice of Gerald Morris, Philip Marlowe, is perfect. Just puts so much emotion. And I think, unless you've read the book, given a lot of people will associate more with Marlowe more than anyone else. He actually played the role in more episodes. The voice, absolutely perfect for the role. It's tough to compare because across all genres, but I do like more in that. I would, and with Sue's edition of William Conrad, I think the list is complete of some of radio's great dramatic actors. Larry Haynes, her mentioning that one surprised me. And maybe Haynes might be underrated in my mind just because he tended to get roles really towards the end of the golden age of radio when a lot of the star power had just gone out. We do hear him in Easy Money coming up this year. Also, we'll hear him in the Mike Hammer radio series. But these are very late in the detective series. The one actor I'd add, both comedy and drama, but primarily comedy, for a great voice is Gale Gordon. He had great flexibility, great range. We're going to hear him in the casebook of Gregory Hood. But he was really known, on the comedic side, he had this kind of slow burn thing he did. It made him a great Osgood Conklin, but he really just had so much talent and was able to play so many roles. He played heroes, he played villains, he played comedy, he played action. He's, of course, as I said, he's best known as the voice of Osgood Conklin. But he was also Mayor Latrivia, and he was also Mr. Judson, the Texas oil man on the Burns and Allen show, and Flash Gordon, and of course Gregory Hood, and so many other characters. Really, a great deal of flexibility. So I'd put Gale Gordon in there, probably under comedy drama. And Larry Haynes, well, let listeners decide for themselves on that. Well, that will do it for today. Join us tomorrow for our final Play It Again episode. This one is a treat listeners have been asking for a while, and we give it to them. So be sure and listen, and we'll be back on Monday with yours truly, Johnny Dollar. And then join us back here on Saturday for another episode of The Lineup. In the meanwhile, send your comments to box13@greatdetectives.net. Follow us on Twitter, Radio Detectives, and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.